but with problems because this is Jericho over here. And there's not much to see in Jericho, but there's an oasis in the desert, very important in the Bible, where Joshua comes and takes. Have we found the walls of Jericho? Some say yes, some say no. The water springs over here, that the water made pure by Elisha, the prophet Elisha, throwing salt into the water, where the pilgrims coming after 5 days journey stop over here. To the right we see the hill of the antennas, and right next to it the hill of the walls around. That's halfway down there. There's the monastery Corintel. Remember the 40 days of Jesus wandering in the wilderness after his baptism, being tempted by the Satan 3 times. Below that hill, you don't see it, is the tail Jericho, the hills of Jericho. 1990s, Jericho developed a lot for tourism during the awesome process. The hotels were built over here. In the middle of nowhere, they also built a casino. There's no gambling in Israel, so suddenly there's a casino over here, and all the Israelis were coming here to gamble, and hundreds of millions of dollars were kind of gambled away over here. That all stopped at the end of the year 2000 with the Intifada. Usually there were no problems with Jericho, but in Intifada there were problems. Arafat had put some of his people. Between $8 and $10, or $9 and $10, and or self-service, or you can get some soup if they have soup, or nothing. There's a big shop here, like the shop you saw now, but the bigger has more of the cosmetics here, including the avada I talked about. And between probably from eating and shopping, about 45 minutes. Then we'll book to see the movie in English, and do a walk around, and probably leaving 1:45, maybe something like that. We'll see. But then we'll see how long it takes, and then we have about.
Bên nó sụt ta bây giờ mà say là Dead Sea Scroll họ chơi cái bộ mô Dead Sea Scroll họ chơi tàu họ là Dead Sea Scroll mà họ cái cho nhỏ không mang cú cho nhỏ cái bộ chơi tàu nó tụi họ bên họ tụi tàu bằng họ tụi mình về là nó phải được sự chuẩn được họ cứ Dead Sea Scroll Discover cái tăng tọa đi sai nó kháng trung cứ nhớ được cái thuốc hạt từ này mua trà tàu
All kinds of questions. On one hand, it's the most accurate Bible we have, 1,000 years earlier than any other writings, and I'm talking about the Old Testament. Nothing in the New Testament is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. So what you saw in the movie is kind of artistic freedom. We'll talk about that in a second. But of the scrolls, and what starts 7 jars, because thousands of pieces of writing, one type of writing is all the books of the Bible, except for the books of Esther and Nehemiah.
Scroll cho đỡ cho phong văn cũ mua ít cho khỏi nó lòng rồi tàu lỡ ha ta sẽ phong trong để nó cho khỏi cái bữa phụ cho phong văn cũ thầu nhớ đồ hũ này ไปหลุดสุดจนเดอปังเจปังเกล็ดตัวเดอหัดซื้อตัวเด้อคือว่างกูหัดแต่อย่าหัดซื้อตัว and that's see เราอย่ารู้หัดซื้อคือว่างกูแต่อย่าหัดซื้อตัวคืออย่าย่างจนเดอคือหัดแต่อย่าลุ้นจงสะดงห้างกมลานั่นจานอนอย่างจานตั้งรู้ปังฮัตซื้อคือเราจะช่างเปลือยย่อครั้งดูเนาะให้ยาเขาคือย่อไก่ช่างเปลือยเรียกฮัตซื้อย่อท้องลาเต้เนาะเต้ตัวสุนัขเนาะเขาคือเป้หมดครึ่งของเด็กเนาะเลยนึงเป้ปืนเด็กเนาะอินหมอตะกี้เป้หมอเลยหมดใช้ดึกขอนสิอีปลาเนาะเป้หมอใช้เงินหลังเกลี่ยปั๊มเจ๊ใช้ไม่รองในจานเนี่ยตอนนี้ตัวหลังเปลี่ยนชั่วเลินโดนดังแล้วปลาเป็นมันใช้รถนะดังรู้จ้าไรแล้วล่ะ
là nói là lúc học lên sau cái thằng chơi chỉ thổi tại vì
lúc học chơi ơi thì còn còn phải học học chơi chơi sau tuần khá chơi tuần khá sau chơi người ta ôm một quá chơi người ta tại vì một xã sau lúc chơi con nó các bạn có những học chơi lên còn chụp một cũng một hai cả giờ phấn đấu luôn đi
cháu cứ hẹn yêu
ôi chờ tuần này nhá rồi là họ nhận được nó
City of Jerusalem, and then getting to our checkpoint going into Bethlehem. Where you'll be met by. You want to do something? I have no idea. Speak to Doreen. Yeah, we're seeing it tomorrow. That's true. Okay. And until we figure out. Yeah. Okay. If we have a problem, we'll go hysterical. Bye. I hope 10 minutes because we're in the traffic coming by traffic gate.
Lúc hàng khi đông luôn để nó trên đường nữa lúc cái hà nó lúc cả nó sang tiền nó thì giờ đó tăng giảm ở đây tăng giảm lại tê trên hàng nó để lúc cái hàng nó xịt chỗ trên hàng nó cái sang tí lúc cái hàng sang tí sang toàn trò lúc chế đồng màu rác đây lúc tổ chế trong nhiều Muslim ta mà tạo sự mới ya là Muslim trên tàu của nó có tụ lại thì cho lúc tổ chế cứ vui Muslim thì ya
Though the word Jerusalem does not appear in the Quran, it's interpreted to be over here. And from the Dome of the Rock, the summit of Mount Moriah, where the Holy of Holies was the Jewish temple, Allah goes up to heaven to speak to, Muhammad goes to heaven to speak to Allah. And that makes that the third most important site for the Muslim after Mecca, Medina, and then over here. Now, what do we see here? What's that? The whole thing is 580 to 630 is Muhammad. 5 to 630, and I assume more in the last 20 years, because only after the age of 30 he starts getting the message, getting the surah. He's going to start talking to Allah, or Allah talks to him. What do we see? First of all, we're on a Jewish graveyard over here. The bodies are underground. The tombstone is above. The stones are here saying, I paid my respects. If I came back, I left a stone over here. A candle, we do several times a year, a morning candle that or sometimes you light a candle for a loved one. And over 100,000 Jews over here and waiting for the Messiah. Okay? Probably the most expensive graveyard in Jewish world. Don't ask me how much it costs, but I suspect it's expensive because Israelis are not buried here, they're buried in other areas. But those who pay money will come over here. Or if they're part of certain religious sects that have owned this place for centuries. And when the Messiah comes, we just have to work out a little problem, right? It's your first time here or your second time here. Okay. Now, the valley below is the Kidron. The church over here we're heading for, the Teardrop Church. Okay, Jesus weeps. Okay, the last time he comes, he weeps, he cries, knowing what's going to happen to him, knowing what's going to happen to his people. Okay, that the temple's going to be destroyed, and if the shape of the temple, if they let us in, there's not a which is the namesake of Alexander III's mother, 9th century, when he built Abraham. And the valley down below here is the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus rested. Then we have the valley. Left-hand side we said the area of the city of David. Halfway up the hill is a church, Peter and Gallicanta Church, a beautiful church. I'd say visit, but it's closed on Sunday. It's where Jesus held overnight in the house of Caiaphas over here, and where Peter denies Jesus 3 times for the early rooster, halfway up the hill. Then you get to the top of the hill, which is the Great Dome Church, the Dormition Abbey, where Mary is remembered over there. Mary, in the Catholic tradition, falls asleep and is raised to heaven, and they remember that over here. Right next to that, and some crosses. The garden resurrection is from the Golden Dome. You cannot see it, but we just drove by that. We drove by that the garden tomb by Damascus Gates from here to the right edge of the city. That's what we're more often. So, if we're going to take, we'll do a few things. If we're going to take our last week, Palm Sunday, coming down over here.
Bây giờ cho sandwich cái bên là thì sẽ dùng nữa, có một lưng chua chị nè, có một cái lên nói chị mất giá này chị, mình gì lên nói chị nè, hạ u hạ một trò hổ mong ta một số những số trắng trò chị, một cốc trà chị, ngập, thì để hắn nói này.
Có tên cái này chấp bắt lên sắp lên nữa rồi.
Có đi không?
Có trong ca trò hổ là dự ở Bethlehem này, bên trong Bethlehem phố. That should not be that bad.
The doors had 3 doors in reality. The big door in the middle, there was 2 little doors, one on the right and one on the left. The door in the middle, some people they used to enter the church with horses and camels. To stop them, the Crusaders, they did the arch door, the second one. So even if with the outdoor they continue to
See you, né? Nó phải dễ sử dụng. Nó mình chơi nó